The Wall Street Journal has dropped a massive expose on Elon Musk. The tactics Elon Musk uses to manage his legion of babies and their mothers. The world's richest man juggles more than a dozen children and harem drama along with running his companies and advising Trump. He recently took a paternity test in a battle with one woman over money and privacy. Yo, this story is drama-filled and it is crazy. And I just want to say, never met Elon Musk in person. Ashley St. Clair is a friend of the show. We've had her on several times, and she's always been very nice and good to us. So it makes it rough for me because there is a minor conflict of interest in this regard to a certain degree. But I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'll just try and be as fair as I can because this is a story of serious public issue. The first thing I want to add is that South Park hit the nail on the head with the hammer a long time ago when they did that episode about how rich and successful men just are unfortunately addicted to having sex with young, beautiful women. How could this be? What's causing this? The joke, of course, being that, any guy with tremendous wealth and power is going to go after beautiful women. That's kind of how humans are, which brings us to this story, starting with Ashley St. Clair. Now, St. Clair's been heavily criticized because apparently she's been paid a large sum of money by Elon Musk. In fact, according to this expose, it doesn't make her look good either. Elon reportedly offered her $15 million for a privacy agreement. And I guess the story states she didn't want to do that. I kind of feel like if somebody offers you $15 million, that's like retirement money. You can put that in proper wealth management, and apparently it was 15 million plus, like I think $100K a month or something, like $1 million a year for privacy. I guess the story is that Ashley St. Clair wanted the child to know who his father was, and that's why she didn't agree. So the whole thing is just absolutely crazy. I'm a bit of a traditionalist when it comes to having family and stuff like that, so I'm not a big fan of Elon having a bunch of babies with a bunch of different women. But I'm also not surprised that the world's wealthiest man, one of its most powerful, wants to have lots of babies with lots of women and he can easily toss $15 million without batting an eye. That's crazy, dude. Here's a story from the Wall Street Journal. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there are some key details. And there is I do have a summarized version, but here we go. Ashley St. Clair wanted to prove that Elon Musk was the father of her newborn baby. But to ask the billionaire to take a paternity test, the right-wing social media influencer had to go through Musk's longtime fixer, Jared Birchall. Quote, "I don't want my son to feel like he's a secret," St. Clair told Birchall in a 2-hour phone call in December. Birchall offered St. Clair some advice. His boss is a very big-hearted, kind, and generous person, he said. But Musk had a different side. When a mother of his child goes the legal route in these discussions, that always leads to a worse outcome for the woman than it would have been otherwise. This is what Birchall told Ashley St. Clair. Plus, he said Musk wasn't sure the child was his. It wasn't the first such conversation for Birchall. His public job is running Musk's family office. And he recently helped organize Musk's more than $250 million push in support of Trump's election. They're going to mention that Musk has at least 14 children with 4 different women, including a pop musician Grimes, Siobhan Zillis, an executive at a brain computer company Neuralink. Multiple sources close to the tech entrepreneur said they believe the true number of Musk's children is much higher than publicly known. Musk offered St. Clair $15 million and $100,000 a month in support in exchange for her silence about the child, whom they named Romulus. Similar agreements had been negotiated with other mothers of Musk's children, Birchall told St. Clair. If he's got 14 kids, and he gives each of them $15 million plus, he's spending $100,000 a month on each of them. The crazy thing about this story is how many women are out there going like, Elon offered her how much? Like, I'm only getting $20,000. The fight with St. Clair over the terms of the deal for their baby has been going on as Musk has assumed his role in government. This we understand. Musk's baby-making project, they call it, is relevant to his ambition for NASA, which he wants to move faster, go to Mars. He said on X that making people multiplanetary is critical to ensuring the long-term survival of humanity. In his dark view of the world, civilization is under threat because of a declining population. He's right. Musk refers to his offspring as a legion. During St. Clair's pregnancy, Musk suggested that they bring in other women to have even more of their children faster. To reach region level before the apocalypse, he said to St. Clair in a text message viewed by the Wall Street Journal, "We will need to use surrogates." Listen, Ashley St. Clair has been heavily criticized because she was screenshotting messages from Elon. Actually, not screenshotting, taking photos of the different phone well before there was any kind of dispute. And I got to be honest, the challenge here is split. There's obviously a dispute. Some people are going to be like, yo, Elon offered her $15 million bucks. That is FU money for the most part. You can put it into proper wealth management and you're going to be making money off that forever. More importantly, you put that $15 million in trust because you don't even need it. You're getting $100,000 a month from Elon. You get $1.2 million per year. What do you want for? You can travel the world. Perhaps what you want for is a dad to be there for your kid and not to be a part of some surrogate legion, I guess. As far as Elon's concerned, he should have been, look, Elon, if you're going to go out and have lots of babies, lots of different women, you got to screen the women better. I'm like, it's kind of crude and crass, but sure, right? My opinion is he should be having all of these kids with one woman. I know he wants to have way more kids faster, so he's trying to impregnate a bunch of women at the same time, I guess, if that's the story. I think the appropriate thing is get married, have as many kids as you can with one person. But I suppose Elon Musk just wants more kids than one woman can provide. In which case, the issue is, I guess if consenting adults want to do those things, I don't find it morally right, but I'm also a little bit libertarian in this regard. I'm kind of like, Elon enter into a position without having a formal agreement, and Ashley St. Clair wanted her kid to have a dad. So this is where you're at an impasse. Some people are going to say like, yo, Ashley, why don't you just take the money and stay quiet? And I'm going to be like my response is, maybe she wants her kid to have a dad and it's worth more than $15 million. I think so. Mediaite breaks it down. They go to mention that they say Musk reportedly offered her $15 million bucks and $100,000. And after her baby was born, she requested a paternity test. During a 2-hour phone call in December, Burchell described Musk as very big-hearted and generous. Burchell reportedly warned St. Clair to not sign some agreement associated with handing over $15 million plus is absolutely insane and irresponsible. And that they've dealt with some very unstable, mentally unstable people. And they're correct. It doesn't matter why you're handing over the money. There has to be an arrangement. And it's like for tax purposes. The IRS wants to know what the agreements are for. Yo, if you have 10 grand on you, the police might seize it, which I think should be illegal, but they can claim it's drug money, and that's wrong. The Journal reported that the paternity test returned that Musk's probability of paternity is 99.9999%. In another bizarre episode reported by the Journal, Musk allegedly used a social media platform to approach cryptocurrency influencer Tiffany Fong. Apparently, they never met in person, but they're reporting that he approached her and asked her if she wanted to have his baby. Fong confided in friends about the advance, and once Musk found out, he unfollowed her. They then said that her X earnings reportedly nosedived. At one point, over 2 weeks, she got $21,000 on X. Musk, according to the Journal, commonly refers to his ever-expanding brood as a legion, and has been seeking to recruit new mothers via his platform X. Musk has at least 14 children with 4 women, including the musician Grimes. But multiple sources told the Journal they believe Musk has fathered many more. All right. He's going the Genghis Khan route. My question for you guys is, I think we're split, right? This is, I guess, traditionalism versus, I don't know, how would you describe it? Paleo broodism? I don't know. He wants to go the old school caveman route. And I don't mean caveman is stupid. I mean it as in the strongest man bangs all the women, has as many babies as possible. Here's my issue with this. Kids need dads. Who are these kids growing up with? I'm not a fan of the idea that some of these women are going to have kids and be raised by single moms, or they get a stepdad to come in and that stepdad just fills in for Elon. That's the real challenge here. How can Elon be a dad to all of these kids? It don't work. So the challenge, I suppose, is you can certainly rag on Ashley St. Clair, accuse her of chasing after Elon, all of those things, but it looks like money wasn't the issue. If it's true that he offered her $15 million and she turned that down, she ain't gold digging. It looks like she's trying to get a kid for her dad. And it looks like that's not going to happen now. You know, look, in my opinion, the situation is bad all across the board. Personally, I'm not here to offer AstraZeneca advice, but if it were me, I'd just take the $15 million bucks, because now what you're getting is Elon's basically cut out. If you take the money and keep the privacy, at least there's an opportunity for Elon to be there and try and get him in this kid's life. But now you're fighting, which is no good for anybody. And I don't see this going in a good direction considering the amount of press that's already been done on the matter. So we'll see, man. I don't think it's good for anybody. I don't think the story's good for anybody. I don't think Elon's doing the right thing with all these babies. What are you going to do, man? Welcome to the craziness of the world. We'll leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see y'all shortly.